Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been Alabama owned and operated since 1965, and Guthrie's is still growing strong. Come see us soon. Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered for Crimson Tide football on Saturday in the season opener against Western Kentucky. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Central, with radio coverage starting at 3 o'clock across the network, as well as the Varsity Network app. And don't forget the booth cam streaming live as well, presented by Yay Alabama on all CTSN social media platforms. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back. We are live. It is Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond. And welcome in on a Friday morning. It is a Friday morning that sees us recap some high school football from last night, college football from last night, look ahead to today, tonight, tomorrow, all kinds of stuff. Plus, we do have our first Metro Diner Pick'em contest day as well. So this is how this works for those that don't know, and a lot of people don't know because this is the first time that we've done it. So this would be a new thing, right? So if you don't know. Anyway, if you follow the show enough, you know our favorite game show is the one and only. It's The Price is Right? So this is how this works. It's very simple. It's very easy. And the first thing up for grabs is a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. And each Friday, we will pick the scores for one SEC game. That's it. You and I will pick a score. The callers will call in. They're either going to take your score or my score. Whoever gets the score right without going over, one person from that group will win a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. Now, here's the best part. If you get the score, if you take Drew's score, Drew gets it right, everybody that got Drew's scorers' names will go in a box. We will compile all the winners, and then at the end, the week of the Iron Bowl, we will draw 2 names, and you two will get to sit in on the show with us at Metro Diner and be feasted like kings.
There you go.
Jonathan will grill up a breakfast for you like kings, and you will sit in on our Iron Bowl show, and you will get to partake with us. You will get to have breakfast with us at Metro Diner. So they're going to roll out the red carpet. So 256-576-4977. All you got to do is call in and give us your thing. And the game this week, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to start it simple. Since it is Alabama's first game with Kalen DeBoer.
Oh, DeBoer. I had this conversation with Ryan Fowler last night.
Since it is his first game, that will be the game that we decide this week. That'll be this week's game. Alabama, Western Kentucky. So, Drew DeArmond, your score, your pick, and this kind of helps us just break down games anyway. So, your pick for Alabama, Western Kentucky.
My official pick, I've gone back and forth on this. I'm going to go Alabama 48 and Western Kentucky 13, and Alabama's going to have a backdoor cover, the way I look at it. I think Ty Simpson will be in the game in the fourth quarter, and I think he'll throw a late touchdown pass, and Alabama will cover the game because, as far as I know, it's still around 31 points.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So I'm going to take 45-17.
Okay.
So this is how this works. Now, 256-576-4977. You can call in. You either take Drew's score or my score.
Right.
And then whoever gets it right without going over, you could win a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. So just call in and we will take your names and all that fun stuff. We'll see if this works. It should. But Jonathan Gorey will cook us up a fantastic breakfast anyway. Again, 576-4977. It is our Metro Diner Pick'em contest. Go ahead and give us a call with you either want Drew's score or my score, 48-13 or 45-17. There was college football last night. We'll get to that. SEC-wise, we didn't think Missouri would have a problem with Murray State, and they don't. They lead 28-0, or I should say led 28-0 after the first. They go on to get a 51-0 shutout win over Murray State. SEC-wise,
70-0, the Hogs over UAPB. So
I mean, we can't read too much into that, right?
Well, we can read that they kicked ass, which is what they're supposed to do. They didn't choke.
They didn't lollygag
like your Gophers. I know you love the state of Minnesota.
I could not have been more happy for them asses. I mean, look, them dumbasses up in Minnesota lit off fireworks after they missed the game-winning field goal.
I didn't even see that. I saw them miss, and I didn't know they
can't even figure out how to light off
fireworks. Did they
fireworks.
not see the damn thing went wide?
No!
God,
they can't even figure out how to do that.
And they lose 19-17.
Row my boat, whatever.
Row your boat.
Right out of the... but you know what, though? That game, though, Max Johnson did suffer.
That looked bad.
Yeah, Max Johnson, the former LSU quarterback, transfers
Texas
to
A&M
North Carolina.
Quarterback, everybody quarterback, but
transfers to
North Carolina with his brother. Yeah,
and bad leg
that
injury
looked bad.
There. Yeah,
so I was like, ooh,
that's the only bad side there for North Carolina. Now, UAB at home last night against Alcorn State. They do what they were supposed to do.
They had to row your boat for about an hour. Good Lord, it looked bad. I mean, I saw the lightning. I mean, I'm like, good heavens to glad I didn't have to drive through that yesterday, leaving Bessemer.
Monsoon.
I mean, I got hit with a little bit of rain. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I didn't get hit with that.
41-3. Trent Dilfer. They throw some dimes. They get a win, 41-3. Not good news for Rich Rodriguez.
No, I saw that final last night. Yeesh.
They would trail 31-10 at the half. It did not get any better. Coastal Carolina comes in and runs away with this one, 55-27 last night. Not a good start.
I mean, our good friend Mike Paris starting his 42nd year as the voice of the Gamecocks. That's a rough one at home because I believe – I saw that Jacksonville State was a slight, favorite.
They were a 3-point. I believe they were a 3-point favorite at home last night.
They were. That which is usually just for home field, but I mean, because you're a slight favorite at home. But man, that was a rough outing for the Gamecocks. Hopefully, they can bounce back.
Our good friend John Summerall cooking it up last night. 21-0 at the half, and Tulane, they just go on.
What's that term I've come up with now? A crispy performance. That's a good one.
That's a crispy. But they were extra crispy last night. Yeah. Hey, that was. You know what? When KFC unveiled the extra crispy,
here we go.
It was good to begin with.
Yeah.
Now it's just crap.
I guess I'm their sponsor. Oh well.
There's a lot of places that will
I
never be on the show. All right. Let's get out to Chris real fast on the Neighbors Wealth Management on the phone lines. Good morning, Chris.
Hello. What's up?
Yes, I was wanting to get in on the pick.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
The Metro Niner pick 'em, Chris. What do you?
Who do you go with?
Who are you going to go with?
You going with Scott or you going with
me? Scott.
Okay, so you're saying
I'm going 45-17.
Yeah.
You're going 48-13. They're close. All right, Chris. Any thoughts on the game?
So he doesn't like Alabama to cover. I like Alabama to cover, so he's going with Scott.
All right, let's go to Mark real fast. Good morning, Mark.
Okay.
Hey, Drew. Mark from Grant. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, bud.
Yep.
Good, buddy. I'm going with you, Drew. I think the defense is only going to give up 7. I'm going 48-7.
Okay.
All right. So Mark goes with Drew. Chris is going with me. That's how simple it works. And then whoever gets it without going over, one of those names will be drawn, and you will win a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. Your name stays in the drawing as well for the all expenses feast for the week of the Iron Bowl with us, courtesy of Metro Diner. You'll sit in on the show and you will get feasted like kings from Jonathan Gorey over there at Metro Diner. I mean, you could have the pancakes, the omelets, the French toast.
There you go.
You can have it all. Mm-hmm. We'll be there, by the way, next Friday. So next Friday,
maybe by then they'll even have the pumpkin spice stuff on the menu, you know?
You like that?
Look at John. He's all fired up about that. Get well, Bailey.
All right.
Bailey's very sick. Everybody pray for Bailey.
256-576-4977. You can join us. It's that simple. Just call in. Let us know who you're going to pick with. You either want Drew's pick or my pick, and we'll put it in there, and we will keep track of all of this. And you will get a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. It's that simple. Again, 256-576-4977. Let's see here. Other college games of interest from last night. Colorado does get a win over North Dakota State.
They were trailing at one point in the first half.
I don't know. They didn't look a whole lot. I mean, North Dakota State is okay. They were repping my Missouri Valley Conference pretty well.
Yeah.
But they are not, they're good, and they will be good. They'll probably make it to the quarterfinals of the playoffs again.
Well, they'll make a run. I mean,
they're not as powerful as they once were.
I mean, the second half was I didn't see much of the second half. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
but I was flipping it back and forth, watching the Braves melt down. And, did
they melt down?
Oh, they melted. Yeah, they gave up 2 bombs. But anyway, they were up 4-0. They were rolling. And then before you know it, a 3-run bomb, a 2-run bomb. And they lose 5-4 to the hated Phillies. But anyway, but in the second half, it was 20-17 at halftime. Actually, North Dakota State led. But, it was a little bit more defensive-oriented second half, but Colorado made enough plays to get the job done and get the win, 31-26. So you give give those guys credit. They found a way to win. It wasn't pretty. I had a feeling it wouldn't be. Still not sure they're going to have a winning season. Even though North Dakota State is one of the best FCS programs in the country, but still got major questions about, how physical Colorado is, and their offensive line looked really. I'm tell you what, Shedeur Sanders, it can play. I mean, you better be glad
he's good.
He's the athlete that he is.
But if he wasn't, his ass would be on the floor a lot.
Oh, he got hit a lot anyway. He's a tough kid, man, and he made a lot of plays, and we'll see. But I still have major questions about Colorado's defense, and so. But I didn't think a whole lot got answered in that situation. So I would still lean to Colorado.
Wins, maybe.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're a bowl team by any stretch of the imagination. And don't get me, Travis Hunter's a baller. I mean, the guy made some tremendous plays, man.
All right, Johnny on his cell is with us this morning. Good morning, Johnny.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So we're on the doorstep of another season, and I'm just curious, and I put this out before, but had Saban not retired and we don't lose Caleb Downs and Ohio State doesn't go on the spending spree, where do you think that Bama enters 2024 season with if the Nick Tater was still at the capstone? I mean, I can't see them ranking Oregon over us. I can see, Ohio State's obviously loaded and they went out and spent a lot of money. And Georgia's got Beck coming back. But where do you think we'd be ranked relative? Do you think we'd still be 5 in the country if Nick is the coach at Bama?
I would say 2.
I mean, I would say 1 or 2, depending on, what would have happened with the coaching staff. Because I'll be honest with you, Johnny, I thought about this. I've thought about it all offseason. Last year, by the end of the year, Alabama had the worst defensive coaching staff Nick Saban's ever had. I mean, that's just a fact. Kevin Steele would have been gone. He probably would have brought in DJ Durkin. Coach Steele was done.
Yeah.
Coleman Hutzler, horrendous.
Offensively, would Tommy Reese have been back?
I mean, probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, Coleman Hutzler would have been gone, thank the Lord. But they just didn't have Travaris Robinson probably still would have left and gone to Georgia because he was not going to be the DC because Nick Saban had already made that plain. They would have had to go out and get another secondary guy, which would have been very important. That we don't know definitely who that would have been. because DJ would have taken over the linebackers. Robert Balla probably still would have left. I know the original plan was Freddie Roach to go to outside linebackers and bring in Bo Davis, which would have been epic, but I don't think that was going to happen. So there's a major questions as to, the coaching staff. And then Scott brought up the offensive staff. The offensive staff likely would have come back intact except for Holman Wiggins. I think they would have tried to bring in Jamarcus Shepard. And I know Nick Saban liked Joe Cox, so I would have think Joe Cox would have stayed. I don't know about Wolford. I don't know if they would have tried to make a change at offensive line coach. But I'll just be honest. The offensive staff was pretty good to good. It wasn't great. The whole staff as a whole was just not vintage Saban. So I still think one or two just simply because it's Nick Saban. And they probably would have been able to keep Caleb Downs. Because it may, potentially he would have come back to still play for coach. But I don't know, man. I'll just be honest. I think Alabama right now is in a better spot than they would have been in if the coach had come back. I think they still would have had a chance to have a really good football team. And again, it's so hypothetical because potentially maybe he pulls a great secondary coach. Maybe we'll see what they would have done at outside backers, but we don't know. I mean, the Durkin stuff, I'm pretty and Jamarcus Shepard. I'm pretty confident in that info, but the other pieces I don't know.
That's what I was trying to get at. I mean, I agree that look, if you ask me now where we stand relative to where we would have been, I actually think we're better. I mean, not that look, Saban's the greatest that ever did it ever. I mean, and that includes the Bear, and I was old enough to know and live in Bear's legacy. I'm just saying, at the time we got the change and the guy that we got and I'm bought in. I think DeBoer is the next boogeyman with a different hat. And I personally think offensively we're way better now than we would have been coming into the year, thanks to DeBoer's creativity and what he's going to put on the table. Now, I mean, I guess the jury's out a little bit about Kane Womack's skills. I mean, as far as that style of that 4-2-5 swarm defense. But now the athletes are there to play that defense. And I just think that for us to be ranked 5 versus where we would be with Saban and to be better in many areas as a result of the changes, I mean, I just think that's kind of like DeBoer can't do it in the South. He can't recruit. He can't whatever. And yet, he's still holding on to the number 2 class, and he's out there kicking tail in the recruiting world. He's bringing in kids from the West Coast. He's getting them, all over the country. I just feel like that, there might be if there's a sliding scale, I just think we're misslotted right now. Yeah. And I'm not saying we should be 2, but I can't see. I really don't see Oregon over us. Just to be honest.
Right. Thanks for the Johnny. Do you want to do a picket thing with the Metro Diner contest real fast?
No, guys, I'm good.
Right,
I appreciate
awesome.
you.
Thanks for the phone call. I know Mark from Spring Hill is holding, and I anticipate that one. Let's get a break in for the first time. It's Talking Ball on a Friday, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Phone calls and college football conversation.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Huntsville Men's Clinic opened in 2020 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for years. Our friendly, discreet team of urologists and doctors will take the time to listen. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. We even offer treatments for size increase with instant results. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 256-368-0333 or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Hey, Huntsville. Looking for action-packed events? The Huntsville Sports Commission is your hub for all things sports. From youth events to national tournaments, we've got events that thrill and inspire. Whether you're an athlete, a fan, or a volunteer, there's something for everyone. Cheer on your favorite teams, witness amazing talent, and be a part of the excitement. Check out our event calendar and get involved at huntsvillesports.com. That's huntsvillesports.com. Be there, Huntsville.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Catch the Tide every Saturday. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
That's the price you pay. All right, let's welcome you back. 7:21 on a Friday morning. 256-576-4977. You want to join the Metro Diner Pick'em contest? Feel free to do so right now.
But I'm going to give a shout out real quick too.
Yeah.
How about them Pisgah Eagles?
First time since 2003. Now, they haven't played every year. It's
No.
misleading, but they get a fourth quarter touchdown late. Score was tied at 22. They get a fourth quarter late touchdown. They go on to knock off Fife last night, 30-22.
And that was being hailed as Fife's best team ever, because Death Taxes and the Fife Red Devils, who we still think can win a state championship
I still think they
in
can,
3A.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
wow, what a win. The 2A number one Pisgah beating the 3A number one Fife. What a huge win for Luke Pruitt and the Pisgah community, man. That's awesome.
How about that, though? Fife and Pisgah both could be favorites to win 2A, 3A.
Right.
You could have two state football championships separated by a mere few miles.
Yeah,
that's
man, one time Freddie Kirby and I, we were smelling the chicken houses and everything. We went over there and watched them play Fife play Collinsville.
Yeah.
They're right down the road from each other.
I know.
Pisgah and Fife did this last year, playing the regular season for the region championship, then playing the semifinals. Yeah, I mean, football in Sand Mountain is just a different breed, right? It's awesome.
When you invest in it, that's what happens.
Exactly.
When you invest
in it,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yes, pay attention. Let's go out to the phone lines. Mark from Spring Hill is with us. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, morning, guys. I got Leonard Loser and Percy Peabody here. Y'all ready?
Okay, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give us your pick.
Leonard's Loser. Here we go. Take just a second. They'll be right here. That's like live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
or radio.
Just take your time. Your show.
My apologies. I had it all queued up, and you always have to have a plan B, so I'll just do it without my music, without my everything.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Leonard,
let's get going. Alabama A&M versus Auburn. Now, the Bulldogs will take a trip from Normal, Alabama, and take to the loveliest village of the Plains, where they'll try to catch these Tigers napping like New Mexico State last year. But they'll be running into a buzzsaw, and I like Auburn in this one. Leonard's Loser, Alabama A&M. Western Kentucky versus Alabama. Now, Coach DeBoer will be making his debut for Alabama as he takes on the Hilltoppers, and Alabama will score early and often in this one, and all the Tide fans will leave knowing and thinking anyway that they're going to win the national championship. Leonard's loser, Western Kentucky. Now let's get to the big pick of the day, Clemson versus Georgia. The Tigers leave the Palmetto State and go to the Peach State to take on in the Athletic kickoff classic against the Georgia Bulldogs. Kirby Smart will have his Bulldogs chopping at the bit, as last time they played in this stadium, they lost to Coach Saban, who kept them from three-peating. But that won't happen this Saturday, as the Georgia Bulldogs will show Dabo Swinney he might need to keep his mouth shut. Leonard's loser, Clemson. Now until next week when we have more losers, get us out of here, Percy.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, man.
Mark,
thank you.
Thanks, Mark from Spring Hill. It does sound better with the music and everything. I will give him that.
I mean, he's had we've heard him.
We've heard him do that before. He's done that. It does sound better with the music.
It's kind of like when your computer won't load up.
Yeah,
you know? It happens.
Like that's never happened on this show before.
Right. There we go.
Let's go out to Sean real fast. Good morning, Sean.
Morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Oh man, that Pisgah game was great.
Were you there?
Oh yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was following it from afar, but it sounded like it was an awesome game.
It was a sold out, packed house. If you didn't get there 2 hours before the game, you wouldn't get in.
I knew it.
Yeah.
So I was telling everybody to get there early, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. And Pisgah, you know, there was like 37 seconds left when they scored the last touchdown.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. It was a classic, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And then it's no small feat. I mean, Coach Pruitt's team they've had a really good run lately, but to beat Fife is huge, and everybody knows what Coach Paul Benefield does. And now that they're in different classes, they can both win a state championship. I hope they both can bring home the blue map to North Alabama. But what a great matchup, and also kudos to them both for playing each other.
I can promise you this. I know the score didn't look at that game should have been a 1-point game at the last second is the way it was that good of a game instead of scoring a touchdown when it was tied.
Right.
The score didn't reflect the actual game, but it was a good one.
No question.
I tell you what, that Pisgah defense is for real too.
Yeah. And they were, that's what helped. Their defense last year too was fantastic. And they both, that's what's good now. The good and bad about this is the fact that we won't see this matchup in the playoffs potentially, but both of them will be favorites to win the respected classes. Both of them could bring home a title in 2A and 3A.
I don't know why Fife keeps flip-flopping between 2A and 3A. It's like every year they change.
Well, it's every 2 years.
Got to be by the smallest of margins.
Well,
I didn't look at the enrollment numbers.
Yeah,
it's got to be by the smallest of margins.
Yeah, they're on the edge.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Alabama's going to put a few more points than what y'all are giving them. I think it's going to be in the 50s.
All right, so would you
like my pick?
You would
then,
go
right?
with a Drew pick then.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be more like 56 to somewhere between 3 and 10.
I got you. So Shane on here he's got Alabama covering.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, easily.
Cool.
I do. I think DeBoer's going to make a statement in his first game.
Well, good.
Very well could.
Pisgah certainly did.
Yeah, they did.
There ain't no doubt about that, man. That was a good game. It ain't the ending that I wanted, but I go to church and live 5 minutes from Pisgah.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
all right.
And then I live 15 minutes from Fife. So it's kind of crazy.
No question.
All right, Sean. Thanks for the phone call, bud. Thanks for the game update as well.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Hey, I got a name for you. You ready for this one? Eli Holstein.
Yeah, he's going to be the starting quarterback of the Pitt Panthers. He was about 4th or 5th at Alabama, but that shows the talent.
Does that say anything about the ACC?
I'm going the other way. I'm going to go and say that Alabama has a talented quarterback room. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, you know what, though? They did. Kalen DeBoer did talk about how deep that quarterback room is on the coach's show. Remember, he said that all 4 of the quarterbacks could start. He feels like all 4 of them could start for Alabama.
And Eli left during the transition with Coach Saban, and he had redshirted, and so and did not play, and went and competed over there at Pitt and won the job. So, that was a big news around lunchtime yesterday. Kudos to Eli Holstein. He's going to take over for the helm of the Pitt Panthers and have a chance to put up some numbers.
All right, let's get out to the phone lines real fast. I know we got Louis LeBlanc coming up, but let's get one quick phone call in. If you're going to do a pick, let's get it in real fast.
There we go.
And who we got?
Jared, what's up,
Let's go
man?
to Jared real fast. Good morning, Jared.
How you doing?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Real quick, I just wanted to talk about, I don't know if y'all watched the Fighting Deion Sanders last night, but man, it's the same thing over again. You can't deny Travis Hunter is an absolute monster. I'll get into that. Shedeur Sanders, he could really stem plays and make good throws down the field. But other than them 2 guys, man, it's the same story as last year. I cannot see that team winning against a team with a pulse in the secondary. I mean, that secondary from North Dakota State, I understand they're FCS, but they're about as strong as a wet paper bag back there, man, and it was ugly. So, I don't know.
All right.
I totally agree. Do you want to do a pick real fast? Drew's pick or my pick for the game?
Are you picking for the game?
Yeah, I missed it. What game, though?
It's the Alabama-Western Kentucky game. Either take 48-13 or 45-17.
In other words, do you think Alabama covers, or do you think Western Kentucky, you taking the Hilltops?
Oh, yeah, Alabama covering all day. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the phone call, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, the one, the only Louis LeBlanc going to join us. Westminster Christian Academy talk next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's the dawning of a new age in Tuscaloosa.
I understand what Alabama football is all about. Roll time.
Join the Crimson Tide as the Kalen DeBoer era begins.
Touchdown!
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off the 2024 season at home against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Our coverage begins at 3 on your home for Alabama football.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
You need a lawyer and pick up the phone. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. When you call for a lawyer, where does that phone ring? It might be in a call center somewhere, maybe 100 miles away. But my phone rings in my office.
The Lackey Law Firm.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. My phone rings in my office too.
So does mine. I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. And when you've been hurt and need help, we're here. We're the ones who take your call.
And get what you deserve.
You want to talk to your lawyer. You don't want to reach a call center. With the Lackey Law Firm, that never happens.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And this is the most important part. We'll treat you like family because that's exactly what we are.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
And now, a man who knows what you ate for breakfast.
Time now for the biggest thinker of them all.
He knows it all. He is Drew DeArmond. Listen to Drew and Scott Tyson weekday mornings. It's Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Oh, welcome back to Talkin' Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. If it's only as simple as getting a name right. High school football tonight, Westminster Christian Academy. Wow, they looked good last week. They got a good win last week, did Westminster Christian Academy. Now they're going to try to do it. Now comes the hard part. Now you got to back it up, and you got to do it 2 weeks in a row. But you also got to do it on the road for the first time. That's a little different. Playing at home, you know, you get to settle into the home confines and everything else like that. But when you go on the road, things get a little different. Things happen. Weird things can happen when you go on the road.
Well, it's a new opponent as well in 4A Region 8, and that's a very familiar one. We've been talking about Sand Mountain already this morning. But Westminster Christian Academy, first of all, congratulations to the Wildcats. They get a huge home win, 42-20 over the East Limestone Indians and Will Johnson. Huge game for Evan McClure, and his first game is the tailback as far as I know they had a jamboree the week before, but this was after the dress rehearsal, and he more than held his own at the tailback spot for the Wildcats. And we're going to have our weekly visit now with their head football coach, and he's done an outstanding job during his tenure there, building this program into a consistent winner. They're coming off of a 4A Region 8 championship and a semifinal berth in the playoffs, and they're 1-0, and Louis LeBlanc's been kind enough to join us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, good morning.
Morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning, sir. First of all, let's just wrap up East Limestone. Your team really, responded, Coach. I know new guy, Evan in the new position, but you were really confident in his ability to be the bell cow, the tailback of this offense. He did an outstanding job. Your offensive line, you were very confident, 4 starters returning. A nice win over East Limestone to kick the season off, Coach.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was very, very pleased with the guys. All across the board, I felt like everyone executed well and then made the adjustments that we needed at halftime. It was a good night.
When you look at the film and you finally got a chance to settle it down, look at the film and everything, what kind of stood out to you and impressed you the most from that game?
Well, to be honest with you, what impressed me the most was I told the coaches in our meeting over the weekend that I said, guys, what you are telling the guys to do, they're doing it. And I'm talking about hustle and alignment and attention to details, and they're doing it. And so that gets me excited as a head coach when I see practice translating to games. Obviously, you spend so much time practicing. So it tells me that I've got a good group, a group of young men that get it, that understand they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. So that really stood out to me as I just watch guys hustle and always trying to be around the ball, second and third effort on blocks, trying to just do whatever they can to get that extra yard. So that was exciting for me. But then, obviously, Evan stepping up, having 4 touchdowns his first game, over 200 yards, total offense. That's obviously exciting. Take a kid who's never done it before, and a kid that kind of looked at you with big eyes when you said, "Hey, you're the running back."
Right.
That wasn't even on his radar.
No.
So that was awesome. And then in Houston, to see the poise that he had, even in the storm of some mistakes that he made, when maybe it looked like the wheels were coming off a little bit there right before halftime, for him to just come over and with maturity say, listen to instruction and correction, and then just go out and do it without holding on to past mistakes. That was really impressive.
No question about it. And then, Coach, how did you think your team responded defensively? Certainly, you guys took control of the game in the second half, but you and Evan, his new role offensively. So he's not playing as big a role on the defensive side of the football, really. You're hoping to, for him to do the majority of his damage on offense. How did you think your defense played as a whole, Coach?
Man, anytime the defense gives the ball back to the offense, turnover on downs, fumble recovery, interception, that you get excited. You start seeing possibilities. And Coach Sloan, our defensive coordinator, has done a phenomenal job. This is his second year at DC. I think like his fifth year overall with us, and done a phenomenal job of getting those guys to buy in to, again, like 11 hats around the ball. Good things happen when we hustle and we break on the ball. And then Coach Holland has the secondary just believing, man, that the ball is ours. So the guys are making great plays on the ball. They're hungry. They're athletic. They have the ability to make plays in space, and they enjoy it. They enjoy doing what they do. And so that was really impressive to me. Obviously, there were some questions on the D line, losing Harlan Loveday from last year, which is a force, and then losing Evan basically to offense. There's two massive holes there on a three-man front, and so Seth Markesy lined up at nose and did a fine job for us there, holding that line of scrimmage in the middle, and then Chance Sylvester had opportunity to play last year also for us and start, and he's a one-man wrecking crew. And then the emergence of Donovan Bledsoe at defensive end. He had a great night, and so just excited for those young men that were able to jump in and fill some really important roles in the foundation of the defense. Everybody talks about the offensive line, and then its importance to the offense. As you know, the defensive line is tremendous, and so we only have three of them out there, and those guys being active and taking up 5 blockers is critical for our success.
So the greatest improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. Where do you want to see that improvement the most tonight?
Well, obviously, we always want to start fast, and I felt like we did.
Right.
Yes.
But then we started to slow down a little bit. We had some self-inflicted wounds, and so that's got to get out of there. We've got to stop that. And so there, you can chalk it up to youth, but as you know, in big games, when there's more pressure or it's playoffs, win or go home, those mistakes become amplified, and so we have to fix that. And so I feel like the guys know that. My favorite part of the game, to be quite honest with you, is, and I'm speaking in any game, is when you see your team make mistakes. You get together as coaches, you come up with a plan, the adjustments, and then you present them to the team, and then they go do those adjustments and they work. It's just a great picture of coaches and players together, collectively coming up with a way to win. And so you don't want the mistakes, but it's exciting when you see them overcome the mistakes. So that's the hope, obviously, for the next week is tonight is can we overcome the mistakes to a point where we don't make them this week as regularly as we did.
Well, I mean, and talk about the new opponent, Coach. New to 4A Region 8, they've moved up. A tradition-rich program. I know they've been rebuilding under Coach Dale Pruitt, who I believe is in his third tenure there. Very familiar name on his coaching staff, Jeremy Pruitt, defensive coordinator. He's taken a big role with this program, helping his father rebuild it. But talk about playing Plainview, and they didn't play last week, so to speak. So there's a little bit of unknown there. But talk about the challenge of going to Plainview and playing the Bears.
Well, you're right. It's another week of first for us, never having played Plainview ever.
Yes.
And this will be their first game of the 2024 season. They didn't have a jamboree either. They had a spring game. So that's – sorry, guys. It's announcements. Goodness gracious. That's so loud. Sorry. Welcome to high school football.
Live radio, man. But we're going to roll with it.
I miss those. That's where they usually tell you what's for lunch. Too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Scott loves the food
part.
part.
Man, it's a glamorous job, boys.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, the announcements just threw me out. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Plainview.
Yeah.
You've never played them before, Coach. They had a spring game, but they did not play last week. So this will be your first game and your first trip over there to
right.
Rainsville.
So I told our team, I mean, we have an advantage just of experience. You know, we've got a jamboree and a first game under our belt. We can't lose that. Obviously, we have to travel, so that's a notch on their side of the board there, that we have to travel and they get to just be home and be in their routine. And you're right, it is our first away game, even though we did travel to Haleyville. It was a jamboree, so a lot of things for us to work on, this week in preparation for that. Then you got to throw in the mix that you've got Coach Pruitt, who's a legend, and then you've got his son that is also a legend coaching. And I worked with Jeremy my last year at Alabama as a GA. He was there as his first year with Coach Saban, and Jeremy was always good to me. Talked to him a couple of times this week. He's a good man and always willing to help, and I just appreciate his friendship. And so it'd be good to see him again, shake his hand. And I never thought I'd be coaching against him, but here I am doing it. So maybe that'll be on the announcements next. But, so yes, sir. It's go ahead.
Yeah, what makes a Dale Pruitt team so tough, though?
Well, first of all, Dale Pruitt. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He's seen a lot. Got a lot of answers for things. He knows the psyche of young people and what to do to get the most out of them. And then obviously you throw in a guy like Jeremy, who's been at the highest levels, and he knows, he knows a lot of ball, and he knows how to teach and get a scheme across. So when when you mix that with a town like Plainview, where you've got hardworking people that are instilling those kind of hardworking values in their kids, and then you put them all on a football team and tell them to go hit those private school kids, then obviously you got a team that has an opportunity to be pretty destructive. And so we definitely feel like we have our work cut out for us. We have a history of playing against Plainview in basketball, and
that's right.
And so good to see something get strike up on the gridiron here tonight. So pray it'll be a great game for everybody involved. Obviously we come out on top, but it's always nice to see something like this happen with another community that you kind of start a little series with.
And hey, no doubt when you got a kicker that can boot a 47-yarder, Coach. We need to talk about that though. The special teams, man, could be big tonight.
Yeah, that needs to be in the announcements.
Yes, exactly right. If he makes one in a real game, it'll definitely be in the announcements. But so yeah, Carson is a unique athlete. He's very gifted. He's very talented. He could start on either side of the ball for us, and then he goes out there and kicks 47-yard field goals. So he's our kickoff guy, he's our punt guy. And so when you see a guy who's as loose as he is, he's just an easygoing guy and competes. And you don't often see that in kickers. Kickers tend to be a little more uptight, and withdrawn and leave me alone, till I'm in the zone kind of thing. But, Carson's, like when he went to go kick that 47-yarder against Haleyville, again, there was no rush, but I said, hey, man, it's the state championship. We're down by 2. We got to have it. There's 1 second left on the clock. Good luck. And, and he went out there and goes, yes, sir. And then he just goes out there and he leaves his foot, he throws his hands in the air and runs off the field. He knew it was good. And that's just the kind of kid he is. And what's cool is just being able to see him grow over the years. And he's really developed into an athlete. I believe we could stick him anywhere in the game and he would make a massive contribution. And had an interception last week, had a big hit on a drag route. And the guy's just always around the ball and making things happen in a positive way for his team. And man, as a coach, you couldn't ask for anything more.
All right, couple keys though to tonight's game.
There we go.
Couple big keys.
Well, we had some turnovers, so that we can't do that. Ball security, we worked on that all week. The interception we threw, those cannot happen. And so, fortunately, last year we were able to control a lot of that and keep our mistakes to a minimum. And that's going to have to be repeated, and it has to start tonight. So I think we put the ball on the ground twice last week, lost one of them, and then the interception. So can't have that. And then defensively, adjusting to whatever we're going to see. we think we have an idea of what we're going to see, based off of some of their late games last year, but you never know. And you don't know who's out on the team that wasn't out last year and whatnot. So the ability for our guys to adjust, and I have confidence in our coaches to make the adjustments. We kind of have a history of doing that and doing a good job of making adjustments. And our players, like I said, being so bought in, are able to execute them. So I think that's going to be critical is doing what we're supposed to do offensively and not turning the ball over, and then quickly assessing what are we up against on the defensive side of the ball and making adjustments to what maybe we weren't ready for.
Well, we think the Westminster Wildcats are going to be ready. Hopefully trying to go 1-0, 4A Region 8, get to 2-0 on the season. Safe travels, Coach. Hopefully we have some good weather tonight as well. Going to be a big challenge, but we know you guys are looking forward to it. Great win last week, 42-20 over East Limestone, and we much luck tonight. And, of course, we will have our good friends Logan and Jimmy on the call tonight over in Rangeville. But thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
And, man, I should tell you that radio broadcast was just phenomenal. I got a chance to listen to it throughout the week, and just thank you for what, again, it's just another facet of what y'all are doing to promote local sports, high school sports, and these young people, and highlighting, what these communities are taking pride in. And it's just it's a special thing, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
we
Coach.
appreciate it very much.
Safe travels.
Yes, sir.
Man, have a great day.
Louis LeBlanc, man, one of the best.
Yes, he is.
One of the best. All right, let's get a break in. Going to wrap whole hour one up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We've had a good ride in for you this morning. Only one accident, Limestone County, 251 near Bethel Road. Should be about ready to clear. Everything else in order this morning. You be careful on your trip in. Snelling needs an experienced property manager who knows HOA rules. Snelling, how the area's best companies hire talent. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Embark on a flavorful journey at the Brewers Cooperative. Located within the vibrant community hub of Stovehouse in Huntsville, our brewery isn't just about crafting exceptional beers. It's a destination where culinary delights and local brews harmonize. Whether you're seeking a laid-back lunch or a lively dinner with friends, our diverse menu has something to please every palate. With a commitment to quality and a passion for innovation, we invite you to savor the unique flavors of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative. Call 256-678-7036. The Brewers Cooperative.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
It is time for us to wrap up hour one of Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. We mentioned Pisgah in Fife. We mentioned that outcome.
Yes.
Earlier in hour number one. They were not the only ones playing last night. Lawrence County at home last night gets a win over Rogers 27-7. And then we also had Huffman getting by Columbia 52-14. I know. One of these days. Galesville gets a win over Asbury 58-7. Cold Springs over Curry last night 24-14. Just some of the games that were going on across the area last night. Thompson did get a win over Lipscomb Academy 27-21.
That's not your Lipscomb Academy, coached by Trent Dilfer, though. So
no, it's coached by. I forget who it's coached by now.
Well, I don't even know. I mean, at one time it was Kevin Mawai, but hell, I don't know who's coaching them now. They got in all kind of trouble for shocker recruiting players from all over the United States of America. So, including Deuce Knight, who's now back in Mississippi. So, yeah, Antoine Fagans had a long kickoff return, the Auburn commitment and safety. So that was a big win for Thompson as they bounced back, and after the heartbreak with against Grayson the week before. So Mark Freeman and the Warriors always playing a tough schedule.
All right, one of the announcements that came out yesterday, we knew it was coming, but the SEC is going to start doing injury reports for football, basketball, and baseball.
Yeah,
you're going to get injury reports coming out. It's designed, according to Greg Sankey, to curtail individuals who might try to seek information on injuries and suspensions from student athletes for gambling purposes.
You think so?
I'm just going by what the commissioner put out there.
Yeah, but after Brad 2 times Bohannon gives it to homeboy and he's running around the Great American Ballpark at Cincinnati. Hey, you gotta let me put this $5,000 down, man. How's that unusual? Why are you running in here trying to put $5,000 down? I got some information.
Yes, you do.
Like a moron.
Schools are going to require, they're going to have to provide 3 days before each conference football game, then daily updates, including a final one 90 minutes prior to kickoff. Now, they're going to be filed with the SEC office the night before the contest with an additional update on game day. So that's how it's going to work. This will only be conference games. So we're not going to have one for tomorrow for the Western Kentucky game. It's just going to be before each conference game and then daily updates, including a final one 90 minutes prior to kickoff. So there you go. They're going to be deemed available, probable, questionable, doubtful, or out.
Or like when I had Steve Moulton ask Kalen DeBoer this week, is
Who?
Jeremiah Alexander DeBoer?
Get the promo right.
Yeah.
Get the commercial
This is
right.
what we're gonna have to do, John. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to record me saying that, and as soon as that we play the other one that's got to be corrected. We got to have that corrected. That's not us, but the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We got to have it corrected here. But we're gonna just have to play my DeBoer. That's what it is. That's how you pronounce it.
Not Dubor.
No.
The Crimson Tide
and let's also understand something. This is not Chris Stewart butchering it.
No, this
Chris
is not.
Stewart with his amazing calls of Alabama football and basketball. He will pronounce it correctly, but the voiceover guy blew it here. I don't know if he's from Minnesota or where the hell he's from, but he blew it.
Very well could be from Minnesota.
Yeah,
they blow a lot of things.
They did last night, including a fireworks show.
Nothing could be better. Nothing could be better than seeing Minnesota 0-1 and then light.
Yeah, we need to have that. We need to have that. Like just as soon as we know that voiceover's playing until they change it. Just have me saying DeBoer 15 times. 15 times.
Well, we heard it 2 weeks ago. And we said, guys, it is wrong.
I know. I mean, you weren't listening. I had my headset on. I'm like, what?
It's
Mandy, look this up. What's going on?
And then he's like, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
And then we tell everybody, and they're like, okay.
And then Moulton doesn't want to tell anybody because I guess he's thinking it's some kind of Georgia voodoo or something.
It's DeBoer. Oh. Anyway, that's hour one. We got an hour to go. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
It is hour 2 of Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We'll give you some more time later in the show to call in with your picks and all that other stuff. But hour 2, we're going to give it this underway. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, sportsmedalabama.com, 256-881-5151. You can experience the SportsMed difference. They are the official training providers for the Rocket City Trash Pandas, the UAH Chargers. If they're good enough for them, they're good enough for you. Hour 2, we're going to pick it back up with the high school football conversation, I think, and we shall. Jimmy Gay, the Huntsville High Crimson Panthers. Drew, you were there Friday night. Started off slow against Hazel Green, but got it going. Got it well enough to get that season opening win. First win under the Jimmy Gay era.
Well, I mean, they were really good in 2 of the phases, I thought. They were A+ on defense. They did not give up 10 first downs. They and we'll have Coach Gay come in and detail some of the rest of it. They only really allowed Hazel Green to threaten in deep in Panther territory one time, and that was around the 32-yard line in the fourth quarter. An interception there was taken by Xavion Drake to turn that away. They had 3 interceptions on defense. They took the ball away. The kicking game was very, very good. I thought very, very solid. And that's something that they fixed after their jamboree against Mortimer Jordan. Offensively, it was a little bit hit and miss, but that happens sometimes when you start seasons. But a 27-0 road win over Fred Ferrier and Hazel Green. And then Hazel Green was very, gracious host for us over there for myself and Michael Seal. And we're going to be over at Milton Frank tonight for an all-city matchup. The Mae Jemison Jaguars coming off of a tough game, 21-6, a real battle against Athens. They've got 5 Division I, student athletes that have offers from big-time Power 4 programs. Coach Rico White's doing a great job kind of revitalizing that team. And it's going to be a big-time matchup as Huntsville looking to improve from Game 1 to Game 2. I definitely thought they improved from the Jamboree to Game 1, and we're going to talk about all of that with the first-year head football coach of the Crimson Panthers, Jimmy Gay, who is with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
There you go, Coach. That's all you can do.
It's another Friday, Coach.
Yeah, it's another high school football Friday, which everybody loves. I know you and the staff have poured over the film. You guys were even going over it on Sunday. You guys were breaking it down. We kind of talked about and summarized the game. It was a line of scrimmage game. I thought Huntsville, for the most part, dominated the line of scrimmage, especially defensively. But talk about the overall performance for your team after looking at the Hazel Green tape and how they played.
I was proud of our defense. I thought we was out of position only just a few times. But for the most part, those guys, they played extremely hard. We only gave up 84 total yards on offense. And when you do that, you give yourself a chance to win.
Well, Coach, you look at that video then, and what kind of stood out to you in areas that say, wow, you know what, I thought we would be good in this area, but I didn't think we'd be that good in this area?
Well, I thought we had a lot of depth up front on our defensive front. We had, we rode several people in, and almost every one of them, our three defensive ends, they had 2 sacks each, several tackles for losses. Michael Chobe, Frank Vingarita, Ladarius Jims, I knew they were going to play well, but I was surprised at how well they did play. Also, we made a switch up from last week. After the Mortimer Jordan game, we moved one of our offensive linemen over to defensive line, Zach Teeter, and I thought he played a great game. Also, our 10th grader, DeTarian Cawthorn, had a great game.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed, just with the defensive front. You got to love those kids. They come to work every day, and I'm proud of the work they put in last Friday.
Yeah, really proud of them, Coach. And then a key to any win, especially on the road, is takeaways. And you had 3 interceptions, and including a pick 6. And that was late in the game to really ice it. The Crimson Panthers had already, I believe that was Zion Thomas who got that pick 6. Also, Neil Erskine with an outstanding game, did a great job on there. I know you guys kind of matched him up on Hazel Green's number 1 receiver, and he basically took him away. So I thought the secondary played well, Coach.
They did, and they wasn't out of position. We took better angles this week. We took a lot better angles as far as pursuing the football against Hazel Green than we did against Mortimer Jordan. And, I was impressed with that. Overall, they put a solid game together.
Yeah, they really did.
Coach, now the best part is that was week 0 or week 1 or whatever, first game of the season. Now you get game number 2. What have you seen in practice this week that kind of says, okay, look, I think we've cleaned up a few things, definitely from getting some things on film, and I think we're better off now going into week 2.
I've always hesitated to say anything because we're dealing with high school kids. And there were certain things as far as like offensively, we put ourselves in bad positions. We didn't proceed. We had a lot of procedural mistakes. Not having enough men on the line of scrimmage, jumping off sides, bad formations to run. Not the right formations to run out of. So we worked hard all this week of trying to get those corrected. And, this has been a brutal week for us. It's been hot. We're dealing with a little sickness on the team. But this stuff that you had to fight through, hopefully we'll see, have fewer or no procedural mistakes and call a good, clean game against Jamestown.
And then, Coach, I know the one thing I know you love to do, you're a former offensive line coach, is run the football. Jackson Spencer did, I thought, a great job of doing it, 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. He popped a couple of, double-digit carries. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground. And you guys were able to, for the most part, control the line of scrimmage against Hazel Green. You had a couple of nice, good defensive linemen, but you guys kind of wore them down. Talk about the running game. And that'll be important tonight against a team that made Jemison with a couple of, defensive linemen with power 4 offers that are bigger guys. But controlling the line of scrimmage in this game, I would think, would be a big key.
Well, I think that's in every big game. You win or lose the ball game in the trenches. We don't want to just become a one-dimensional football team, but you have got to run the ball if you're going to be successful, and that's at any level. And we take pride in running the football. A 4-yard run to me is a thing of beauty. Especially in between the tackles. We've got to have that mentality, and we got to develop some explosion on offense also. which we're lacking.
Well, Coach, what have you seen on film tonight from Mae Jemison?
Well, Coach White, God, they are super disciplined on defense. Their kids are barely out of position. He does a great job. Offensively, I think he also had some of the same problems that we're having, some procedural stuff, but they're very explosive. They're definitely a team that if we're going to have to play very good ball to even stay close.
And Coach, I know a key to that will be you got to limit turnovers. I know you had 3 yourself last week, and that was a big part of the reason that it took until the fourth quarter to put the game away. Protecting the football tonight is going to be paramount in winning that plus minus, because this has a chance to be one of those old school games, a low scoring contest that goes down to the fourth quarter and comes down to who can run the football the best, and of course who wins that turnover battle.
There's no doubt about that. We definitely lost that. That's one of the keys to victory. You can't lose the turnover battle. And, some of the turnovers that we had were just straight bonehead mistakes on our part. And we just gave them the ball. They really was not forced turnovers. And we've got to do a better job of protecting the football and making better decisions when we throw it.
Mm-hmm. And then, and speaking of that, though, you did show the potential to make some explosive plays. I know Mae Jemison has a receiver that's a very explosive young man that's got power 4 offers. But your senior, Jack Carter, made a 72-yard explosive play to take it to the house. I know he had a 22-yard run from certainly from Lawson Neighbors. But talk about the ability outside. If you guys can maximize, protect the quarterback. I know you played 2 guys, in Wyatt and certainly in Will, your 2 QBs. But Huntsville does have the potential to make explosive plays of their own. And whichever team can make 1 or 2 of those, that could be a huge factor tonight.
Yeah, we just have to do what they have to do their job. We've got to throw and catch well. And definitely we need yards after they catch. Even the play that Jack Carter made, it was a busted route. It wasn't even the correct route. But, it's hard to gripe when they score off of it. But we've definitely got to do a better job of doing what we're supposed to do, as far as route running and being where we're supposed to be, making good decisions as a quarterback. And we got a few kids that if they get the ball in their hand, they can make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Carter's one of them. Lawson Neighbors is another one. He had a good run on the reverse, made a kid miss, picked up 21 yards. Right there, we've just got to find a way to get the ball in their hand a little bit more.
No question. And Coach, another aspect of that that's going to be important is I wanted you to talk about this young man. I thought he deserved a game ball, and I mentioned it on the broadcast, but talk about your first-year punter that you recruited out there off the soccer team. That, man alive, what a great day he had, and he helped force a big turnover in that Hazel Green game.
Yeah, nobody is more surprised than I am. Jack Maservi is he's taking care of some of our kicking, our punt, kickoff, and that type of stuff. And, both our kickers, Dane and Maservi, we recruited them off the soccer team. And Mortimer Jordan was the first really live action that they had ever, the first football game they've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we was just grading on improvement, I've not seen 2 kickers that has improved or players so much between the first and second time they played.
Wow.
And it's unbelievable. Both of them are great kids. Maservi, he is a pleasure to be around. He's one of those kids that just makes you feel good to coach because he's positive. He'll do what he tries to do exactly what you tell him to do. And he takes pride in what he does. He is Lord, you talking about striking gold when we found him. That couldn't ask for anybody better coming off the streets and just to kick. I mean, it's unbelievable. Been very fortunate. I hope he carries that over to this week, and I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's the great thing about high school football, Coach. And give us a couple of keys tonight for the Crimson Panthers to try to get to 2-0 and get ready for region play next week against Grissom.
Oh, we got to cut down our penalties on offense. We've got to be more efficient, hold on to the football, not turn it over. Defensively, we just got to fly to the ball and gain tackle. They're so explosive that we've got to take care of the small things, be where you're supposed to be, and just carry out your assignment and play hard for 48 minutes.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Yep. Going to be a great broadcast. Michael Seal and myself on the call on WTZN Talk Radio 97.7-2. We'll have that stream up and rolling for you as the Crimson Panthers out at Milton Frank Stadium take on the Mae Jemison Jaguars. Coach, we certainly appreciate it. We know it's a very busy morning over there as you prepare for this ball game tonight. But thank you for the time talking some Crimson Panthers, and go Big Red.
Go Big Red. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Jimmy Gay, kind enough to join us ahead of tonight's game. Let's get a break in. Phone lines back open to you, 256-576-4977.
Jeez,
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We should be back to a clean slate now. I don't see anything new accident-wise. No stalls reported. No problems with traffic signals. You be careful as you make the rest of that ride in. With more than 30 years experience, D&L Refrigeration can save you money on those heating and air conditioning repairs. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
This week on our high school streaming network, over the airwaves, the Buckhorn Bucks will be traveling to Athens to take on the Golden Eagles. Zone 2 and Zone 3 will square off at Bill Washington Stadium as Madison Academy plays host to Randolph. Zone 4 is the Sparkman Senators playing host to Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. Zone 5 features the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats traveling to play Plainview. Plus, our game of the week from Joe Davis Stadium features the Bob Jones Patriots and the Lee Generals.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives. Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, Check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Follow the Tide right here. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Your home of all things Bama is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
You'll be able to hear Chris Stewart tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in Alabama. Is it 6? Is it 6 tomorrow night?
Yes.
Okay, 6 o'clock, Western Kentucky.
Which means 3 o'clock, I think, our pregame.
Yeah, but anyway, you'll be able to hear him. You know, not only is it Kalen DeBoer's first game as Crimson Tide head coach, it's Chris Stewart's first game as the official voice of the Crimson Tide. Remember, he did the home games last year.
That's right.
He did half of the games last year or whatever.
And he sat in for Eli Gold.
And he sat in, but this is his first game as taken over as the entire play-by-play guy for Alabama football. So a new era completely ushering in there inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. 256-576-4977. Now's a good time to get in on the show if you would like. Sad news, though. Sad news to report. Nick Saban's mother woke up this morning to that news that his mother had passed away. Did you see that one?
Yeah, 92 years old. She passed away. That there had been some reports of her health not being good, and she passed away. That was first reported, I believe, by Mike Rodak of Bama 247.
Mary Saban Pasco.
Yep, she had been for several years in Birmingham, I believe, at a retirement facility. She was a huge influence on Coach Saban, and we all know Coach lost his father when he's a very, very young guy in college. His father passed away when he was 47 years old. So his mother did a great job with him, and just did an unbelievable influence on his life. And as you said, Mary Pasco, the mother of former Alabama coach Nick Saban, passes away at 92 years old. So thoughts and prayers to Coach. I don't know how that's going to affect his weekend on College game day, because it very easily could due to those circumstances with his family. But again, thoughts and prayers to the Saban family losing his mother.
College game day. You mentioned College game day. That'll be in Texas. Kyle Field, Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Johnny Manziel, fresh off his appearance in Florence the other night, will be the celebrity guest picker for College game day.
Joy to the world. Looking forward to that.
Are you?
Johnny boy on the set doing the guest picking.
Yeah.
So great college player, complete flop in the pros, but he does own it. And I will give him that. And he's trying to help people not make the same mistakes he did.
Right.
Because, he freely admits he was an addict and really had a lot of personal issues. But he can use this new platform to help a lot of people. Hopefully he's going to do that. No question about it. But Johnny Manziel, one of the most unique talents we've ever seen, Heisman Trophy winner for the 2 years he played at Texas A&M, such a unique talent. But very interesting, not surprising considering, that's a huge game in College Station with Notre Dame coming up.
All right, 20 years after the debate of whether or not either is a national champion. Remember, in 2004, LSU and USC split the national championship 2 decades ago. 20 years later, the two will finally meet. Number 23 USC, number 13 LSU in Las Vegas Monday night. 4.5 LSU right now over the USC Trojans. You taking LSU in this one?
Yes, taking LSU. I think they can find a way to win it. I like their new defensive coaching staff. I understand they have still some deficiencies, probably from a talent standpoint, especially in the back end. But I think they're going to be improved, and I cannot pick Lincoln Charman.
All right, finally, number 1, Georgia. Number 14, Clemson. The Aflac Kickoff Classic, Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 13.5-point favorite are the Georgia Bulldogs. Surprising there, I think, for Kirby Smart. Surprising 13.5-point favorite.
Well, I'm not really surprised. I think I'm not surprised Georgia's the favorite. I'm not even surprised it's by double digits. Look, Clemson's going to have to prove that they're back among the elite. They have taken a dip. They have not been in the playoffs. Klubnik has been hot and cold as a quarterback. He's got to take that next step. Garrett Riley, he was a red hot coordinator 2 years ago until Wofford lost in the national championship game. TCU, and then he went to Clemson. It was an up and down year last year for the Tigers. I know they got that bowl win over Kentucky. But I'm still there. This would be a huge statement for them to say they're back and at least could be the favorite in the ACC. Because right now, I know North Carolina got a win and forced the losing team to set off fireworks. But still, and then I think NC State, they found a way to beat with vaunted Western Carolina last night, right? That game was on TV.
Yeah.
It was ugly. At one time, it was 7-7. And, Grayson McCall, remember, from Coastal Carolina, who almost went to Auburn, but he had an academic situation where he didn't have some credits that would transfer.
They didn't have a major in his field or whatever that allowed him to get there.
And then he ends up at NC State. He threw a pick 6 early, and that's why it was 7-7. But I believe NC State and Dave Doran got that win. So at least the ACC has had some good news.
Yeah, they did. They picked up 2 wins. A couple wins last night. Hey, UCF and Gus Bus, 57-3 over New Hampshire last night.
Yeah, KJ Jefferson.
Yeah, but that started off slow, though, 6-0 after the first quarter. They did put 23 up in the second, did UCF. All right, Bryce is with us on the phone lines this morning. Good morning, Bryce.
Good morning. You going to make a pick, man? What's up?
What are y'all picking for?
We're picking Alabama, Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Scott is taking the Hilltoppers not to win, but to cover.
Well, no, 45-17. Drew picked 48-13.
So I'm picking Alabama to cover.
But you can't go over the score, though.
Yeah, and if you win, you get $25 from our great friends at Metro Diner.
I'm picking Alabama to cover.
Okay.
Then what else I got to pick? The score?
Yeah, no, it's just the score for that one. Do you want to? Do you think Drew's score is more closer, 48-13 or 45-17?
So I pick my own score. I pick what Drew.
You pick Drew's score or my score?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Drew's score.
All right. See, that's that simple.
What was your score?
I'm 48-13.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about
40. Mine's 45-17.
Yeah, which would have the backdoor cover.
I like yours, Drew.
Okay.
But first of all, I got a bone to pick with you, Drew. You did not announce that Johnny Manziel was going to be in Florence.
I had no idea and wouldn't have wasted my time.
I know, Drew. I'm just messing with you. Between him and Dion, I'd be okay, I think. That's about a thimbleful difference in who I'd wanted to go see the most.
Yeah.
And you've really messed my morning up. You told me he's going to be the guest picker.
Yeah.
Now, I was putting on excited about watching it and everything. Now you tell me he's going to be the guest picker. Drew.
Well, I don't ever watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably be asleep, and then I'm going to wake up enough time to take a shower and watch Georgia and Clemson.
At 11
I don't.
You're
Look,
going to
man,
skip it.
whatever Saban says, if he's on the show, I'll just read. The beat writers will tell me, so I'm not even worried about all that crap.
If I heard it right, I saw that on podcast. Coach DeBoer didn't take any calls on his show, did he?
Oh, he did.
He did. He took calls.
He did. Dabo did not.
Dabo's the only one that will not take calls.
Yeah, Dabo's wants everything read to him.
Well, I guess I watched the wrong version because what I watched, just him and Chris was on there.
Yeah, he took calls. He did.
No, he did. Yeah.
And Pee Wee wasn't on the phone because Pee Wee was there in person.
Yeah, he drove in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Pee Wee was there in person. So.
All right. Well, no, I'll be. And hearts goes out to the Satan.
Yes.
I heard that his mom was ill.
Yeah, she was.
Was a real fine lady.
She was a very fine lady. She certainly was.
All right. Well, any upsets last night in high school?
I don't think there was any upsets. I think everything played out like it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So I guess Decatur and Austin's probably the game of the week, unless someone else is playing better than that one.
Muscle Shoals and Florence is playing.
That's another nice
that's
game.
a good one.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
That's always.
It's going to be tough for anybody to top 5 in Pisgah.
Yeah, that was last night. Yeah, that's probably, even though it was played on Thursday, that's your real big game of the week.
Yeah.
Did 5 win?
No.
I fell asleep while I was watching that.
Pisgah won 30-22.
Yep.
Well, how about our boy? The one was at Tennessee. How they
Jeremy Pruitt.
Are they playing?
They're playing tonight against Westminster. They will have their first game against Westminster tonight on 97.7 The Zone.
Yep.
With
hey, y'all streams down, right? I'm listening to y'all live. Did you know he was down?
Yeah, we're getting that taken care of. Yep.
Yeah, we'll have Logan and Jimmy.
We're still working on it. You can listen to us on Zone 2
Logan
right
Verandas
now.
and Jimmy Lay. You can go to Zone 2 to listen to us. Yep.
Well, I appreciate you telling me that. I didn't realize that, but I was listening to y'all straight, like from the radio.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, hey guys, I appreciate y'all letting me talk, but I hope Notre Dame gets beat. That's the only thing good about College Station. I want to see them win. I don't want to see Notre Dame win a game.
Nobody does.
Thanks for the phone call, Bryce. Thanks for the phone call as well. I know you don't want Notre Dame either.
Yeah.
Let's get Cliff in real fast. Good morning, Cliff.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Doing
good. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, man, I was just wanting to get in on the pick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What's the rule? I missed.
So it's just very simple. Drew's picked a score for the game, for the Western Kentucky game. I've picked a score. It's kind of like the Price is Right game. You just can't go. It's final showcase. You either takes Drew's score or my score, and it can't be over. If you get it, your name goes in the drawing to win a $25 gift certificate to Metro Diner. Simple.
What's y'all scores?
I've got 48-13. Scott, go ahead.
45-17.
I'm going to go with the 48-13.
So you're going to go with Drew. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, one other thing, guys. Can I give a shout out to my little cousin from New Hope High School, Dawson Cameron?
Sure.
Had 8 catches for 300 and something yards last week, 5 touchdowns. Kid's a baller, man.
Yeah, man. We just wish they could have made that one last play. Dang.
I know.
I mean, what a game.
It would have been like, hey, you want to be a Brian Bank Team of the Week?
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny, I live up here in Haver Green, and my dad lives in Ohatchee, and we all grew up in New Hope. And my dad was going to go to the game, and he backed out at the last
minute. Man. Missed an all-timer.
Yeah, that one was played well into the night.
All right. Well, maybe he'll have another good night tonight, man.
I hope so.
Thanks,
gets his
Cliff.
first W. Thank you.
Somebody wants to know the best thing to get at Metro Diner.
I like the croissant French toast. You give your thought on it.
I like the Western omelet, no salsa, crispy hash browns, 2 pancakes on the same plate.
There you go. He had to go there. Well, I know Freddie Kirby loves the omelets too.
That is exactly what I get all the time. I mean, the waitress now.
It's almost time for the pumpkin spice waffles, which are quite good.
What did they have the last time? We were reading something on the board. It was some kind of lemon infused, wasn't it?
Yeah, lemon infused with
something waffle with
lemon and lemon berry.
Cheese.
Yeah, like lemon berry.
That's what it was. Yeah. The lemon blueberry waffle. Wow. It was a blueberry waffle with lemon.
I didn't want to go to the hospital.
You didn't want to tingle?
Yeah.
I damn near killed you. I'm in hot pursuit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper.
Make it fast. I'm in a hurry. To get to Bob Godsey.
We got to get to old coach next. Talking Ball returns.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Still running smoothly this morning. I'm not seeing anything problem-wise. You be careful as you make the rest of your trip in this morning. Right now, though, I don't see anything to slow you down. The 8th annual Bernard Blues and Barbecue Fest is coming September 7th and 8th next to Ave Maria Grotto at St. Bernard in Coleman. Arts and crafts, live music, great barbecue, a KC cook-off, and a $10,000 giveaway. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
The Huntsville Men's Clinic open in 2020 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for years. Our friendly, discreet team of urologists and doctors will take the time to listen. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. We even offer treatments for size increase with instant results. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 256-368-0333 or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
This summer, make it a Woody Anderson Ford. Make it 0% financing, make it no down payment, and make no payments for 90 days. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's our Ford summer sales event, and I promise you can save serious dollars on a large selection of our 2024 Fords. We've got financing as low as 0% for 36 months on 2024 F-150, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, Escape, plus all-electric F-150 Lightning and Mustang Mach-E. And on all these Fords I just mentioned, you'll make no down payment and no payments for 90 days. Can you say Orange Beach, here we come? This is going to be a good summer. Come choose from over 550 new Fords, and you'll learn firsthand that nobody will work harder to earn your business. Brand new award-winning Fords with 0% financing, no down payment, and no payment for 90 days with your good credit. This offer ends 9/3/24. Come see us today and make it a Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, 8:37 on a Friday morning. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, they are the official training providers for the Madison Academy Mustangs. They are kind enough to help us each and every week with our conversation with Mustang head coach Bob Godsey.
Yeah, and it was, of course, a really one of the marquee games of the week last week when they took on the Marshall Panthers and Darrell Higgins, one of the best programs in North Alabama, Madison Academy, the very same. And as we talked to Coach Bob Godsey last week, we knew this was going to be a situation where it's a young Mustangs group that's reloading a little bit, but but they were going to get severely tested at Bill Washington Stadium by a great program. They were going to definitely know where they stood as they make this transition to 4A Region 8. Certainly Mars Hill still a 3A program, But the Panthers play an outstanding second half. It was what we thought at halftime, 13-7. It was, it looked like it was going to be another one as a year ago in the playoffs, which was a 21-14 Mustang win. This time, though, the Panthers take control in the second half, win the second half 21-0, and they win the game 34-7. But it's a learning curve for Madison Academy. And we remember just a couple of years ago, they started 0-2 and ended up ripping off 10 consecutive wins and making a playoff run. So we're going to talk about that and more with our next guest, and that is the sixth-year head coach, Bob Godsey of the Madison Academy Mustangs. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing good. Doing good.
And Coach, what did you learn about your team? I mean, you told us that you felt like you were going to definitely figure out where this team stood. You thought they had a good fall camp, but when you open with a team like this that's so good at what they do, it definitely exposes you and you find out, the strengths and weaknesses right now of your football team.
Well, like I said, our youth and lack of maturity just showed. We didn't play very well. Marzell did, especially in the second half. I don't know whether the moment was too big for us, whatever, but we just, we didn't live to the standard. We didn't play as hard as we have to play and do the things that we have to do. So those are all things on us, I think we've taken some steps this week to get there. We just didn't answer the bell, especially in the second half when things didn't go, when we got uncomfortable, when they weren't easy. We didn't have a lot of answers. So maybe typical for a young team. I don't know if I had the answers to all of that. I could make a bunch of money selling it to people, I guess, but we'll keep working through it, keep getting better. I really love this group. They're hardworking. We're just young. We just, especially up front. It was a tough matchup, especially the strength of Marzell's team, I believe, is their front seven. They're extremely good in their front seven on both offense and defense. And our youth of our team is mostly our front seven on both sides. Right. And that showed a lot in the second half. So, our guys are fighting. We had a good week of practice. Really excited how our guys handled things this week, especially in the heat. Looking for a much more spirited, competitive, bunch tonight that we didn't see at times last Friday.
Yeah, and that's the good thing, Coach. Tonight is another night. It's a completely new night. It's week one. It's the second game.
It's a region game.
Yep, but more improvement usually comes between that week one and the first game of the year and the second game of the year.
Well, I think you're right. I think that's one thing we have to learn. Having a young, I think really inexperienced team. Even our older guys, we have very few, inexperienced guys. I mentioned the front line. We had one starter in our front seven on defense. We had one starter in our front seven on offense. So, reason you play good people is to kind of, get that wake up call. And I hope we can see some examples of us, getting that wake up call and absorbing it and learning from it. But you're right. I really think that we learned a lot. You can try your best. You can talk about, handling things. You can talk about, the first game, jitters and things going on, and you can do everything you possibly can in practice, try to prepare for that. But there's nothing like getting out there and getting challenged. And I hope, and only time will tell. I know our guys have worked, they've done everything they can do. And as far as practice goes, once again, we had an excellent week, a very competitive week, dealing with a lot of, sickness and some injuries and, all the things that come along with football. And, great life lesson. So we'll see how we respond tonight.
Well, Coach, and I know you mentioned it and you did it a week ago, playing two quarterbacks. You've got a young freshman, then you have Alex Ryder, of course. How did you think your two QBs performed in the first game? And are you going to continue to play both kids?
Really, we only have one right now. Charleston's a little banged up, so
gotcha.
He won't play tonight.
Gotcha. Okay.
If he were healthy, enough, we would continue to play both. But both have to play better. I mean, they were synopsis of everything we've already talked about. There were times where they both did good things, and there were times where they both did not do very good things. And that you get the ball, basically at the 20, 4 times, don't get any points. We had all, and it was self-inflicted stuff. We're inside the 5 and we line up wrong. And then we make poor decisions, whether it be at the quarterback position or other places. So hopefully we get those things corrected.
Well, Coach, you get really one game against Mars Hill to kind of get everybody's feet wet, so to speak, get all the jitters out, get that first game out of the way. And now you're walking right into a region game
and a rivalry
game right out of the gates in your second game of the season.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I've said before, but I don't know who made that schedule, but I need to talk to that guy. And it might have been, I guess there are those out there who you have a young team, maybe water it down a little bit and let them kind of find their way a little. But, we decided to jump right in and challenge ourselves. And obviously, and on top of that, you go from one extreme to another in terms of offenses, with Mars Hill running the wing tee and doing what they do, just the ground and pound and all the misdirection and those things. And then, you get the Randolph and they're spreading it out all over the field and chunking it and throwing it and that type of stuff. So that brings its own set of issues as well. I think we're a little more set up, just from a personnel standpoint for the spread stuff, maybe than the wing tee stuff, but we'll find that out tonight.
Yeah, and they certainly, Mitchell has a year under his belt. They have Gaunt, a nice receiver. They've got an outstanding tailback who plays both ways. And so they have some definite skill talent, but they're just like you. They played a very, very difficult opener against a really good West Morgan team, Coach.
They did, same way. I think Coach Wood does a great job and has wherever he's been, and they're not shy in terms of who they put on their non-region schedules and things of that nature as well. But you said they do have some experience with the quarterback and the receiver and Beatty. I guess you're talking about running back.
Yes, sir. Graham Beatty. Yes, sir.
He's very, very, very good. Very good player on both sides of the ball and that type thing. So. They do what they do, and they're good at it. Coach Lloyd's very good at it. He always has a good plan. He's an awesome play caller. But once again, and I've said this many, many times before on this show, it's about us. I'm more concerned about us doing what we're supposed to do and playing at the level we're supposed to play. And then we can begin to game plan and do things about the other teams, and that's not slighting anybody or anything. As I say, Coach Lloyd does a great job, but we got to learn to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're handling our business if we want to be competitive.
Coach, what is that? What's the biggest thing then that from week 1 to week 2? You mentioned it yourselves. Then what's that biggest thing for yourself or this team from week 1 to week 2 to tonight that you do want to see that biggest improvement in?
Well, the biggest thing is I want us just to play harder. I think we were very hesitant, afraid we were going to make mistakes. And that comes with inexperience. We didn't want to mess it up, so we began to kind of stand around and catch a little bit. So I want to see us go for it. I want to see us flying around and putting cautions in the wind a little bit and letting it rip and then work from there. Once we get that and get comfortable competing, then we'll start working toward fixing some mistakes and things of that nature. So once again, we got this is a good group. It's going to be an outstanding group when it's all said and done. It's just going to take us some time. You mentioned 2 years ago,
yes, sir.
To where we got things rolling. And same with that group. I thought it was just going to take some time. This group's even younger. It seems like we're getting younger by the day. But we have a lot of confidence in this group, and it's just once again, excellent week of practice. Monday was a long day, JV game, and all of that type of stuff. and those guys handled it extremely well. So looking forward to much improvement tonight.
Yeah, no question. We're looking forward to the call. It'll be Steve Moulton, Glenn Laird on ESPN 97.7 The Zone on our streaming network as the Mustangs at Bill Washington Stadium looking to get that first 4A Region 8 win over the Randolph Raiders. Should be one heck of a matchup. Two great coaches in Bob Godsey and David Lloyd, and outstanding players on both sides, looking to both get things in the win column after difficult openers against really, really high level competition. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time, and we know that the Mustangs, this will be one of those games, Coach, where you're starting to find the identity of your team.
And it is. I think that is well spoken. We're still looking for that identity, still trying to create that identity, and we'll take some major steps, kind of toward that, finding ourselves in terms of what are we going to look like on offense and defense, and we'll take with the second big game, we'll take some major steps in that direction and finding out who we are.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Coach. Well,
we
best
appreciate
of luck
the time.
tonight.
Good luck to the Mustangs.
Thank you, guys, as always.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, going to wrap all this Friday, this whole week, everything up. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a wreck reported in Athens, 72 westbound at I-65. I don't see any problem in that area, so it does not appear to be causing a headache for traffic. Just got a new wreck, though. This one's reported with injuries, 72 east at Maston Lake. It's going to be east of the Parkway. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. If you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists on Bob Wallace Avenue. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Oh my goodness! So Scott, if Shedeur Sanders is the Cowboys quarterback next season, does that mean Deion's the coach?
Oh boy, I don't know. Overreaction. I mean, look, he played well last night, and there's no doubt about it.
He's a good player,
really
good player, man.
He can make plays, but Colorado is so just.
So you're saying Jerry Jones is going to play daddy ball?
Yeah, probably.
Look out.
I mean, why not? I mean,
he's done everything else Jerry has. Why not just play daddy ball?
Rent, don't buy. Rent, don't buy. All right, let's
They'd
go out
still
to
suck.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Jimmy Lay is with us, letting us know what AL.com's going to have in store tonight. Another
What's up,
Friday
Jimmy?
night. Good night.
Hey, guys. Yeah, everybody says this is week one. This is our second week, even though we're calling it week one.
Yeah,
and a lot going on. I'll be covering. I mean, I'll be at Plainview tonight in Rainsville with Logan Barandis doing the color for the Westminster Plainview game. Looking forward to that one. You guys had a great conversation with Coach LeBlanc a little bit earlier. But, well, after that, I'll be over at the Super 8 right across the street from the school, writing up something on number 1 ranked Guntersville at Fort Payne. That should be a good game.
Yeah.
And also I'll be writing about the Madison Academy game. You just talked to Coach Godsey. I look for them to bounce back. I think a lot of that was Morris Hill's just good. You know,
I mean, they are.
You know, when you lose to a team like that, you're just kind of like, well, okay, but they're just a really good team and we're inexperienced. That's kind of probably what was going to happen. Randolph's going to give them a fight, but I kind of look for the Mustangs to come out on top of that one and bounce back. And then I'll also be looking at Huntsville hosting Mae Jemison, as you talked to Coach Gay earlier about that game. And they looked like they were great defensively last week and struggled a little bit on offense. They're going to need a good defensive effort tonight. Mae Jemison got a lot of speed, and they do have some really good defenders. That's going to be a fight. I don't think that's going to be an easy game at all.
I think it's going to be low scoring. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to all that. But as far as Westminster, they played great last week. I mean, they got off to a great start, 14-0 right out the gate, then made a few mistakes, turned the ball over. 2 straight turnovers resulted in 2 touchdowns for East Limestone. Second half, they basically just challenged the offensive line and said, guys, if we're going to win, they have the most experience. I mean, they got 4 returning starters, and all 4 of those guys have started for 3 years. This is their 3rd year starting, and they put it on their back, and they did it. You know, Evan McClure went for 152 yards rushing, and I think they rushed a little bit over 200 for the team. But that's what they're going to have to do tonight. You never know what Plainview is going to do. A little bit of film that I've seen, they can run some wing tee, but they can also spread it out. And so, and you know they're going to be well coached on defense with Jeremy Pruitt on that side of the ball. So, should be a good game tonight. Looking forward to it. And guys, I'm so disappointed though about Columbia. Man, I was hoping.
I know. We were hoping. Man, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen. Just didn't happen last night.
Logan Verandas and Jimmy Lay on the call.
We'll safe
tonight.
travels over there. Get
safe
you some
travels,
50
brother.
taters.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
I forget. I mean, Plainview's got some good places to eat.
Yeah,
they got some good places. That's going to do it for us. You can listen to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware.
And the number 1 Guntersville Wildcat.
Yes, we'll have that one. We'll have more. We'll have coaches for you. We'll have everything for you. That's coming up after the conclusion of tonight's Buckhorn Athens game. Got all kinds of good stuff for you coming your way tonight. Have fun over there at your Huntsville Mae Jemison game.
Definitely looking forward to that game.
Have safe travels to Tuscaloosa tomorrow for the
travel.
Kalen DeBoer era.
DeBoer. It is the Kalen DeBoer era starting tomorrow.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you